Good evening. My name is Fennell, and I am the playwright and director of Johnny Cobweb, which is the show that you're about to see. Before we get started, the theater has asked me to come out and go over a few house rules. Typically, the way we do that is by playing like a pre-recorded audio message over the speakers. But I just hate the way my voice sounds in recording, so I wanted to do it in person. There's an exit to your left. There are bathrooms and other amenities outside. We ask that there's please no flash photography or sports betting. The play is split into 3 acts. There will be a 15-minute intermission following Act 2, and you may have already seen in your programs, but just please be aware that the performance tonight includes what we're calling cartoon violence, prop firearms, and irreverent discussion of death. And lastly, I just want to say thank you very much for coming out. I imagine it probably does not come as a surprise to hear that original work is something I'm quite passionate about, and yeah, it just means a lot that you're here to support it because in many ways you're taking a risk, right? This is the first time that this script is ever being put up, and you don't know what it's going to be like. So the joke I've been saying all week is for all you know, it could be bad, right? And that's kind of facetious, but it's true, right? So like for all you know, it could be really awful, and myself and the creative team, everyone who's involved in this production, we're just all the more appreciative that you came to take that chance because for all you know, we could have been rehearsing this thing for the past 4 months and still not be anywhere close to ready. I mean, flimsy writing, unconvincing performances, more missed cues than an amateur snooker tournament. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be like. I'm just saying, again, from your perspective, with all the information you have available to you, it might be like that, right? Like, we might be fully incompetent. I might have taken out a highly irresponsible loan to finance this. Our stage manager might be openly sobbing in the wings during the performance because she just got rejected from Stanford Med School, and ever since she was 4 years old, all she ever wanted was to become a cardiologist like her grandfather and help heal the world, but Stanford rejected her, and now every time she's out on the sidewalk and she sees a little kid with a dream in their eyes, she'll be reminded of her own failure. You don't know, right? This is the first time we're doing this script, guys. You don't know. I'm just saying, you don't know. We might have installed all the tech incorrectly. There might be lights falling from the ceiling. That whole section's probably getting demolished, right? There might be a splash zone 5 rows deep like you're in SeaWorld. We don't even know how that's possible, right? There's no water in the show. But from where you're sitting, the possibilities must seem pretty endless right now, huh? I mean, you might be about to witness the greatest tragedy to take place on American soil since the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, and yet you're still here, waiting patiently in the audience. Because you bought a ticket to an original work? Are you stupid? I mean, this show could be bad. I'm talking straight carbo, fresh out of the box bad. I'm talking 100% USDA approved military grade dog breath. I'm talking veal scallopini on a paper plate, dude. I'm talking full force ham hock to the gas pedal, pea soup on the dashboard. Mother nature, dude. I'm talking $25,000 ringside seat grudge match slugfest between a pistol shrimp and a slop goblin deluxe. Do you know about the Slop Goblin Deluxe, sir? Are you familiar with the concept of a Slop Goblin Deluxe? Well, maybe you will be after tonight, huh? So let me tell you, I'm pretty gosh darn grateful that you all decided to show up tonight, because as if I needed to reiterate the point further, this show could be bad. It's not bad. It's good. Well, I mean, it's okay. It's all right. I don't know about all that, but you'll have like a reasonable, like a perfectly decent time, I think. But it could have been bad. Like for all you know, it could have been bad. Is kind of what I was trying to say. So, sincerely, thank you very much for taking that risk. It really mean a lot. But I've already been out here for far too long, so it is now my distinct privilege to invite you all to sit back, relax, and enjoy Johnny Cobweb. Hit it!
I'm not going.
Bianca, what's wrong now?
All the kids at school hate me, Mom. Guess what Jennifer Kowalczyk did the other day? It was so embarrassing, I thought I was gonna pass out. Guess what she did? She asked me for a pencil because she knew that the only extra pencil I had left was one of those stupid promotional slogan pencils that Grandpa made years ago, and she wanted to see it. Remember the ones that say, "Go out with a bang" on the side?
Well, that seems pretty inoffensive.
It was humiliating! I'll never be able to show my face in homeroom again!
I know sometimes it seems like you're being singled out, but I'm sure she wasn't trying to be mean. It's just that these kids are naturally curious. They let their imaginations run wild. They don't know that we're a completely normal family, just like everybody else.
I wish I was a bat so that the sun could never touch me.
Good morning, Violetta. Did you sleep well?
Good.
Now stop at your breakfast. You've got a big day today.
All done.
Oh, that was quick. Oh, where is your project for the science fair? Did you finish it? Oh, wow! Is that a fully taxidermied cat? Good job, honey. It looks like you worked really hard on it. He's looking a bit mangy, though. Have you been digging behind the dumpsters again?
Be quiet or he'll hear you.
No wonder everyone makes fun of me. I live in a family of freaks.
Bianca!
Rise and shine, everyone! I trust we're all well-rested and eager to face the emerging dawn. No breakfast for me today, Mom. Instead of stuffing my belly with frosted flakes, I'm off to fill my brain with fiduciary fluency.
No wonder everyone makes fun of me. I live in a family of freaks.
Will you stop saying that? Good morning, Shillyville, and welcome back to the Betsy Anchorage Hour, your number one source of all news in and around the Southwest Ohio area. I'm your host, Betsy Anchorage, and as always, I'm contractually obligated to begin my 60 minutes of hard-hitting investigative journalism with a quick word from our corporate sponsors, English Muffins.
English muffins. They're like normal muffins, except they drive on the left side of the road.
Our top story today concerns neighborhood hottie Christina Aguilar, no relation to the singer, who was arrested late last night on suspicion of loitering with malicious intent. When asked to comment on the situation, SVPD Chief of Police Derek Pancakes, no relation to the singer, replied with a crying laughing emoji.
Would you turn that down, please? Your sisters are trying to eat.
Sure thing, Mom. I'll turn on the subtitles instead so that I can train my reading comprehension.
Sure, just whatever works. Researchers at the University of Southern North Dakota.
Why are you watching this anyway? You need to be getting ready for school.
Dad says that keeping up with the local news is an important atomic habit for any young professional internalizer. Because being aware of the development at the parochial level is key to better understanding the greater macroeconomic marketplace.
There's no way your father has ever said anything close to that.
Mortadelli Family Funeral Home, Vincenzo speaking. Oh, Miss Varallo, are you ready to schedule? Sure, yeah, no, we can accommodate that, but it just seems like sort of an awkward time for a wake. Well, I don't know if you follow baseball at all, Miss Varallo, but there's a big playoff game that Saturday, and... No, I would never suggest that that's more important than your husband's wake, but I'm sure he had some friends who were Reds fans, and... Of course, no, that's not at all what I meant to... No, yes, I completely understand that could come across, like, all right, I'm sorry, Miss Varallo, we'll have the wake Saturday, and I hope I can still look forward to your business in the future. No, I don't mean I'm looking forward to you dying in the future. Okay, sorry, see you Saturday, bye! Widows!
Rough morning?
Rough start to the morning, at least.
I've got something to make it better.
Ooh, come to Papa. Thank you.
Ooh, don't thank me yet. It's a bribe.
Oh, for what?
Bianca has decided that she's never going to school again.
Oh, well, good luck dealing with that.
No, Vincenzo, I need you to speak to her. And you need to make sure the kids get on the bus. I don't have time today. I'm leaving early for Cincinnati.
What's in Cincinnati?
Big murder trial.
Did they kill anyone I would know?
What? No, of course not. It all happened in the city.
Oh, Well, good luck anyway.
Oh, thanks, but I don't think we'll need it. We have this star witness who saw the whole thing go down, and the defendant's alibi is paper thin. I'm surprised they didn't take the plea deal.
You know, sometimes I wish you weren't so good at your job. If you think about it, it'd probably be better for business if we let some of these killers walk free.
Vincenzo, don't say things like
I'm
that.
kidding! That was a joke!
Just make sure the kids are ready.
Kids, are you ready for school? All right, fine, I'll go check.
The results are in. And Shillyville has been voted the safest city in the Midwest for the 15th year in a row, narrowly defeating underdog candidate Detroit. In lieu of any actual criminal trials, the Shillyville courthouse will still be available to rent out for wedding receptions, quinceañeras, and mediocre student film premieres.
Buenos dias, girls. How we feeling this morning?
Terrible.
Terrible? Oh no! You want to talk about it? I'm sorry, I just can't deal with this yet. I gotta come back to you. Violetta! How are you doing, sweetheart? You good? Oh, that's a relief. I can only handle so much angst at once. Wait, is this your science fair project? Oh my goodness, it's so adorable.
He'll never scream again.
You're darn right he'll never scream again. Not with the number you did on him, kiddo. My God. You know, Viola, I really think you got a chance at taking home the top prize this time. I mean, I thought you had it in the bag last year with your baking soda and cyanide volcano, but this is even better. What do you think, Bianca? Isn't this cute? It's a little stuffed cat.
It's not cute, it's gross.
That mood, I'm sorry. Well, guess we better get it over with. What's this I hear about you not going to school today?
I'm not going to school ever, actually, and it's because everyone keeps laughing at me behind my back. I always hear them whispering stuff like, I can't believe Bianca turned out so normal. They all hate me, Dad.
Listen, I get it. Middle schoolers can be cruel.
I'm a sophomore in high school.
Even those sophomores are ruthless, all right, but you gotta go to school. I mean, you think I'd be standing where I am today if I didn't go through the American public school system?
What do you mean standing where you are today?
Well, you know, I'm a mildly successful businessman in a bit of an uncompetitive field, sure, but I had to take over the funeral home from my parents, you know, and well, I guess they did most of the heavy lifting, but that just means I never got obsessed with my career, and I have a family that's intact. What were we talking about again?
The American public school system?
All right, yeah. You think I could have accomplished any of that if I didn't get an education first? No way. It's all because I was a sophomore in high school once, just like you.
All right, fine, I'll go. But only because I want to see how Giacomo gets bullied today. Come on, Violetta, we're leaving.
Wait. Hold on a second. 1, 2. How many kids do I have again?
Hi, Dad.
Oh, God, don't scare me like that. See, I knew we were missing something. I always forget the third one.
I'm not the third one. I'm the eldest son.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just meant third in terms of memorability, I guess. Not in a bad way. Listen, you can't expect me to keep track of all my children all the time. I mean, you're sort of the odd man out.
Oh, you mean I'm the odd man out because I'm the one who will inherit the family business someday and carry on the Mortadelli legacy into a new generation?
Sure, if that's what makes you happy. Now go along with your sisters or you're gonna miss the bus, Jock.
That's all right, Dad. I'll just take the hearse to school.
Will you stop calling your bike the hearse? It's weird.
It's not weird. It's staying on brand. Dad says that maintaining a consistent corporate identity creates a subliminal sense of familiarity in the mind of the consumer, increasing their likelihood of continued patronage.
I never said that, and I agree with your sister. It's weird.
Thanks, Dad.
Me too.
Well, anyway, Dad, do you want to see one of the ways that I've been preparing to become the eventual heir of the Mortadelli Funeral Empire?
I wouldn't really call it an empire, Jock. It's not like we're the mafia.
It's actually funny that you mentioned that because I've been thinking how we could actually partner with... Well, never mind. Let me just show you what I've been talking about.
Fine, the obituaries are boring today anyway. What do you want to show me?
See, I've been watching the local news because I know how you think it's a singular eye of truth in the media's hurricane of misinformation.
When we return, I'll ask our panel of experts the question on everyone's minds. Should ugly people be allowed to wear sexy clothes? Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Yeah, this is great. Good for you, Jock. Now let me have the remote. I want to see what's on QVC.
Has this ever happened to you? You go to a funeral, and the most memorable thing that happens is the post-burial luncheon? Well, at Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor, we guarantee that there will be no yawns, only tears. Hi, I'm Johnny Cobweb, and I'm the undertaker whose undertaking is making your funeral a day to remember. I graduated top of my class at the University of Mortuary Arts and Sciences, and I'm ready to bring my signature style of cobweb innovation to the good people of Shillyville. Let's face it, the funeral business has been stale for a long time, so I'm excited to finally breathe some new life into the industry, unlike some other funeral homes I could mention. I hope you consider giving us a chance as your primary funeral provider. Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor. We're raising the bar for kicking the bucket. Call 1-800-COBWEB today. In-person appointments available upon request.
That's not good.
What's not good?
We've got competition.
Competition?
A commercial just aired on the local news for a new funeral home.
What are you gonna do, Dad?
Well, why would anyone want to set up a funeral home in a small town that already has a funeral home? That doesn't make any sense.
It's some kid who owns it, fresh out of the University of Mortuary Arts and Sciences, apparently.
The University of Mortuary Arts and Sciences, is that even a real thing?
Do you want to hear my thoughts, Dad?
So he's pretty young then, right? Well, maybe he doesn't know what the business landscape is. Maybe if you go and meet with him, you can explain how he could have a whole different area all to himself if he just moves a few miles north.
Maybe, but maybe he'll make a poor financial decision and go bankrupt all on his own and we'll have nothing to worry about. I mean, he can't be all that savvy of a businessman anyway. He's running a commercial at 8 in the morning on a Monday.
What's wrong with that?
Susan, no dead people are watching the news at 8 in the morning.
Vincenzo, this isn't something you should just brush off. It's important to nip it in the bud.
No, I know.
So what are you gonna do, Dad?
I guess I'm gonna go have to talk with Johnny Cobweb.
And I'll come along as your trusty sidekick.
No, you absolutely will not.
Oh, good morning. Welcome to Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor, your last stop on the road to perdition.
Yeah. Good morning. I was looking to see Johnny.
Of course, sir. Do you have an appointment?
No.
Well, we don't usually take walk-ins, but I'll let Mr. Cobweb know you're here and he'll be with you as soon as he's available. In the meantime, if you'd like to browse our gift shop, it's right behind you there where you came in.
Yeah, I saw that. You guys are selling Johnny Cobweb bobbleheads?
Oh, it's not just bobbleheads, dearie. We have gift cards, t-shirts, onesies, Four Loko, scented candles, maternity dresses, firearms, pogo sticks, pumpkin seeds, and you can buy garrote wires individually, but they're cheaper in a 5-pack.
What do the scented candles smell like?
That one there is called Open Casket.
Is that Mr. Vincenzo Mortadelli? Oh my word, I've been wanting so badly to meet you. Please forgive my appearance. It's been a highly productive morning, and I just haven't found time to whiten my teeth yet. I was so embarrassed, I didn't even want to come out here, but Gladys convinced me. Isn't she just the sweetest thing?
Yeah.
Sweeter than cherry pie, that's what I tell everyone. And it's true. Isn't it true, Gladys? Aren't you just sweeter than cherry pie? Oh, just like it when I do that. Too humble, but you couldn't find a better receptionist if you tried, so don't even try. Anyway, I'm sorry, I did want to reach out to you. The timeline was very rushed, and I've been swamped with work. I mean, setting everything up has just been a pain in the snuff box. Gladys knows, bless her soul. She doesn't like it this week. She knows what I'm grumbling on about. What do you think? Should I tell her? Okay, I'll tell her. So,
I've been trying to get a pinball machine for my lobby, right? Just in case the wait is long and the customers start getting antsy. But let me tell you, Frosty the Snowman would have an easier time crossing the Sahara than I do trying to get a pinball machine for my lobby. I don't know if you knew this, but apparently there's only one pinball machine distributor in the entire Midwest. So of course the prices are highway robbery, and it takes forever to get one. You're supposed to flirt with them a little bit, but they're always playing hard to get to make things seem more exclusive. One of those, you know? The process is so tedious, it almost makes me wish I went to pinball machine distribution instead of funeral parlors. Could have broken up the monotony of a sloppy monopoly, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, despite the shamefully unfinished state of my lobby, I am so glad that you came out to visit, and it really is a pleasure seeing you in person now.
Yeah, you too. Actually, I came to talk to you.
Say no more. You'd want to talk somewhere a little bit more private, I bet. Never know who might be listening in. I'm teasing. She's a doll, she really is. Here, follow me. Come step into my office. Wow!
Is he always,
Great boss? He sure is.
Right.
Can I get you anything? Sprite? Cigarette?
No, thank you.
Straight to business then. I like it. What brings you in today?
I saw one of your commercials.
Oh, wonderful. Did you like it? I write all my own material, so I'm always looking for feedback.
Yeah, no, it was very creative, but you know, there was a line at the end there where it kind of seemed like you were taking a dig at me.
You noticed that? Well, don't worry. I can assure you that it was nothing personal. Just a little attack ad to stir up the public. Get people excited about dying again. I'm sure you understand. I hope you do anyway, because the next one's going to be airing this afternoon, and it's going to be a whole lot worse.
So you are aware that there's another funeral home in Shillyville?
Of course.
Then why did you start your parlor here? You know you could have your own territory if you just moved to a different part of the state.
Mr. Mortadelli, I think you're misunderstanding my intentions. I chose this location precisely because I knew that there was already another funeral home here.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would you want more competition?
Well, because facing competition is the only way to become a better entrepreneur. The University of Mortuary Arts and Sciences was all well and good, but I need that practical experience that you can't learn out of an econ textbook. I need a challenge. And what greater challenge is there than taking on the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home? You've reliably served as the gold standard in funerary services in Shillyville for over 100 years. At least that's what it says on your business card.
Well, don't believe everything you read.
I would think you'd be happy about this too, Mr. Mortadelli, because now you finally get the chance to show Shillyville what you're made of. And I can tell that you have the latent spirit of a contender, just itching to be realized.
I don't know, man. My wife says I have the spirit of an apathetic hippo.
Just because you're out of practice. For the past few decades, you've had a steady stream of customers as inevitable as death itself. I'd be bored out of my skull too. No, men of business like us, we're meant for grander things than that. From now on, we'll be fighting to the bitter end over every single corpse. We'll be wrestling in the mud like two starved hyenas, biting at anything that moves.
What?
This is a blood sport, Mr. Mortadelli. This is the title bout for heavyweight champion of the Southwest Ohio area. And how lucky are we? Let me get to duke it out, huh?
You have no intention of relocating.
Me and you have the chance to engage in the most thrilling battle of our respective careers? I'd rather die.
Well, I think I'd better get going then. Thanks for your time, I guess.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine, believe me. Best of luck with everything. I have the feeling that this is the start of a very long and fruitful rivalry.
Yeah, good luck to you too.
And be sure to keep in touch. Just because we're in a blood sport doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Did you want anything from the gift shop before you go?
No, I think your boss wants to be my arch nemesis.
Oh, well, there's a 5% discount for first-time customers.
Oh, all right, fine.
discount at Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor. This offer good at all participating locations with the purchase of a standard funeral. What is this?
I got it at his gift shop.
A gift shop and a funeral parlor?
I know. Trust me, this guy was as crazy as you think. Definitely a few bats short of a belfry.
Well, what did he say?
About what?
About moving.
Oh, right, yeah. He said he wasn't going to move because he appreciates a challenge because he's like a hyena or something.
What?
Listen, I don't really remember all the details. I mean, I just wanted to get out of there. He talked like he was about to invade an island nation.
Okay. Well, what's the plan then?
What do you mean, what's the plan?
What are you gonna do to make sure he doesn't replace us as the top funeral home in Shillyville?
I don't need to do anything, Susan. I mean, no one's going to take this guy seriously. He actually believes that hard work and discipline now is going to make life easier for him in the long run. What kind of a business strategy is that? And I don't think that's his real name either. Johnny Cobweb? He sounds like the baby owl they bring out when a toddler has a birthday party at the petting zoo. Actually, no. You know what he sounds like? He sounds like one of those spiders that Alice would have met in Wonderland. Like you know, with the big top hat that's all patched up, and he crawls up Alice's arm, he does a little spin, and he opens up his ratty brown jacket, and he's selling, like, watches or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I have no idea.
Anyway, the point is, Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor is not long for this world. I mean, the kid is deranged, okay? He'll make an insensitive comment in one of his commercials, or he'll spend all his money on a pinball machine, or he'll bounce too hard on an exercise ball and break his spine or something. And we'll never have to hear about him or his stupid made-up name ever again.
Hey, Dad, do you know who Johnny Cobweb is? All the kids at school are talking about him.
Ms. Verall called again, Dad. She's canceling her husband's funeral and taking her business to Johnny Cobweb's instead because he's a polite young man and you're a, what was it you called him again? A nasty old hack who doesn't respect his elders.
Johnny Cobweb here for Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor. Folks, I just wanted to give a big thank you for the incredibly warm welcome that Shillyville has shown me. Everyone I've met has been so kind and so willing to pay me in advance. Well, almost everyone. I hate to say it, but there have been some nasty rumors floating around about those people down at the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home. Apparently, they're known to have close ties to the Italian mafia. So make the correct choice when deciding which funeral provider is right for you. If you value your life or your death, come on down to Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor and adjoining crematorium. That's right, folks. Due to your patronage, I'm proud to announce that we're expanding to create an even more comprehensive death care experience. Don't worry, Shillyville. You'll be hearing a lot more about Johnny Cobweb from here on out.
Now do we see how this is an issue?
Maybe it's just a fad?
It's not just a fad, Vincenzo. He's beating us already. It's time for you to finally step up and take some initiative for the first time ever.
What? I have taken initiative before.
No, you have not. I'm the one who proposed. I'm the one who does our taxes. I'm the one who has to give you a pep talk every time you call a customer because you get nervous talking on phones.
That's not fair. What about that time I cooked you breakfast in bed for Valentine's Day? How do you remember that?
Yeah, you brought me a full rack of baby back ribs.
They were really hard to make.
Oh, I'm sure they were, but they were also just very messy. Whatever. I'm talking about taking initiative with the funeral home. Johnny Cobweb is a serious threat. There are only so many cadavers going around this town. If he keeps chasing our potential customers, he could really cut into our profits. And that can't happen, Vincenzo. I mean, think of the kids. We're not going to be able to support our family without your income. Then we just have to make do with my lucrative salary as a highly successful prosecuting attorney and actually we'd probably be fine.
Exactly. How do you expect me to stay motivated when there aren't any stakes?
Well, there are stakes. If we don't make a definitive move right now, this will turn into a war of attrition. We will be dealing with the duopoly for the next few decades. You would finally have to put in more than the bare minimum amount of effort.
Oh, that does sound awful.
We need to force him out of business as soon as possible. And then we could go back to our same old built-in customer base. And your only job responsibility would be to sit behind your desk and keep breathing.
So you're saying a little bit of hard work and discipline now is going to make life easier for me in the long run?
Sure, yeah.
That's genius! Why didn't you lead with that? I'd give anything for the chance to do nothing. Let's grind Johnny Cobweb into dust. Let's squeeze him into orange juice.
Okay. How do you propose we do that?
By exploiting something we have that he doesn't. An easily accessible source of free labor. Mortadelli Family Meeting! Everyone in the kitchen! Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming on such short notice. Now, we've got something very important we need to discuss. There's a new funeral director in town. His name is Johnny Cobweb. Now, I don't know what you've heard about him.
I heard he was really cool and that his lobby is way more fun than ours.
Okay, well, I met him earlier today, and he's not even really that cool at all. Actually, he's a huge liar. You know, that last commercial just said we're in cahoots with the mafia.
Ugh, that's such an exaggeration. All I did was go to their info session.
You went to the Mafia's info session?
Yeah, they had it after school one day, and I was curious.
What? Giacomo!
Well, I didn't join it. I couldn't attend the meetings. They conflicted with speech and debate.
Okay, so maybe he isn't as much of a liar as I thought, but he's still making a big splash, and we need to do something about it. He's just one man, but we're a family, and so we're going to tackle this problem as a family, which means everyone needs to contribute, starting with Bianca.
Don't scream at me.
You're still a sophomore, right? Well, maybe you can help introduce our funerals to a new demographic, young people.
No, Dad. I don't want to be any more associated with this family than I already am. I get bullied enough as it is. I didn't even want to mention it before because you probably don't even care, but Tyler Smarjossi gave me a bouquet of roses today. Like a funeral bouquet? He was obviously trying to embarrass me.
Oh, Bianca, I think you're reading too much into it. Maybe he just really likes you.
I have a similar story, actually. Today at school, Stephanie Medici said that I looked like a recently exhumed corpse. She said that I had the stench of the dead clinging to my skin like the guilt of a sinner. She said, Giacomo, every time I think about you, the light at the end of the tunnel grows a little bit dim. I'm scared, Giacomo. I'm scared to live in a culture that produced you. Was humanity truly such a futile experiment? In his infinite love for us, God gave all of his children free will. And after 300,000 years of evolution, all we have to show for it is Giacomo Mortadelli. Your God's love for us is a mistake, and so are you. Aren't you gonna say that maybe she really likes me?
Maybe.
Okay. Don't forget the high schoolers then. Why don't you try buddying up to your teachers instead? Shoot for the ones with tenure. They're pretty much our bread and butter.
How do you imagine that conversation going? Like, hey, Mrs. Carlisle, you look like you've already got one foot in the grave. Here's a coupon just in case you ever want to take that next big step.
Yeah, that was perfect. You'll be flattered who you're looking out for. Now, Giacomo.
Yes, Dad?
You know how you're always bothering me, asking about how you can help run the business?
Yes, I'm acutely aware.
Well, now is finally your chance. In the unfortunate event that you outlive me, this company will be yours. So it's high time you learn some good old-fashioned, real-world salesmanship. I want you to go out and drum up business any way you can. Rub a few brain cells together. I'm sure you can think of something.
I already have thought of something. Over the past few months, I've taken it upon myself to go door to door around the neighborhood, advertising our funerals.
Oh, all right. And how's that been going?
Well, I had to stop recently after one old lady called the cops on me because she thought I was threatening her. But in reality, all I was doing was informing her of the necessity of proper death care.
What? What did you say that got her so angry?
Nothing inflammatory. All I did was follow your 3 simple steps to a certain successful sales pitch. First, I greeted her politely but vernacularly to show that I was capable of human conversation. Then, I made a personal connection by complimenting her figure. That comment did not go over very well. But I still tried to power through. And lastly, I told her why she needed our product and what she'd be missing out on if she didn't invest in it.
No, what exactly did you say? I think we need to hear this verbatim.
Hello, ma'am. Nice weather we're having. It's not often I see a lady over 80 with a bod as smoking as yours. Your husband must have been a very lucky man. Anyway, have you ever thought about pre-ordering your funeral at the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home? If you don't, there's no telling what might happen to you. I can't guarantee that you won't need our services sooner rather than later. And around then is when she called 911.
Giacomo, that's extortion! extortion!
Extortion, right! They taught us that trick at the info session.
The mafia info session? Yeah, I'm sure they did. That's not a trick. That's a third-degree felony.
Oh, that makes sense. I guess that's why the police started chasing me. Those cars are pretty speedy. I was pedaling as hard as I could on the hearse, and they still almost caught up.
You ran away from the cops? What are they going to say at the DA's office when they find out my son has a rap sheet longer than Bugsy Siegel's?
Now you know how I feel, Mom.
All right, so clearly door-to-door campaigning isn't going to work for you, and neither will anything that showcases your personality or overall vibe? Okay, your new mission is to increase sales while never interacting with your customers face-to-face or letting them get to know you even a little bit. Understood?
Loud and clear, Dad. I will not let you down.
I hope not, but statistically it is not unlikely. Now, Viola! Oh, you just keep being yourself. You're probably the only reason this business is staying afloat.
I have an idea.
Ooh, even better. I shouldn't have expected anything less from my smartest daughter.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I meant smartest kid. What's your ideas? A vendor's license?
That's very entrepreneurial of you, Violetta. Are you planning on selling goods or services?
Services.
I'm pretty sure this is forged. It's written in Sharpie on the back of a phonics worksheet.
What kind of services do you even need a license to sell?
You'll all know soon.
Ooh! Surprise! Well, we're excited to hear more about that later. In the meantime, though, I think this meeting is adjourned. Any questions before we go?
Yes, actually, I was wondering if you ever wanted to come see one of my speech and debate tournaments or have any sort of bond time.
Sorry, no time for questions. We've got funerals to sell. And I want you all in bed extra early tonight. We need to be at our best and brightest tomorrow. You know why?
Why, Dad?
I just said we don't have time for questions.
Why, Dad?
Because the Mortadellis have been slinging coffins in this town ever since the Grim Reaper was an unpaid intern in the pits of Asphodel. And we're not going to lose to some upstart pretty boy with a big vocabulary and a personal tailor. If Johnny Cobweb wants a rivalry, we'll give it to him. And tomorrow, we're going to film a commercial.
Sorry, I'm late. The appointment went long.
Gladys, that's your fourth visit to the chiropractor this month. I'm worried that doctor might be scamming you. No one's spine needs that much alignment.
Oh, don't fret on my behalf. It's a good way for me to get out of the house.
If you say so. Are you ready to see our next attack ad?
Oh, I wouldn't miss it, Jonathan. Is this one going to be more aggressive than the others? I know you said you wanted to ramp up the intensity.
Yes, significantly more aggressive. I think this might be the death knell of the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home.
Oh, but that's a good thing, isn't it?
I suppose. I don't know. It all just kind of seems like a waste. I mean, I thought that taking on the Mortadellis would be a learning experience, but all I've learned is how to corner the market with zero resistance. It's like I brought a flamethrower to a pillow fight. That's not how I wanted to win at all. Well, you gotta climb the ladder one way or another. It'll be lonely at the top, but at least I'll have you to keep me company.
Ciao and benvenuto. I'm Vincenzo Mortadelli, owner of the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home and proud father of my 3 disproportionate children. We're all about family here at the Mortadellis, so when you plan your funeral with us, you become part of our family. So let me introduce you to everyone.
They're doing it. They're actually putting up a fight.
The Mortadelli family is honored to be part of the greater Shillyville community. You've probably seen us around town. Whether that's at one of my daughter Bianca's soccer games, where she plays on the junior varsity team, or inside the school itself, where my son Giacomo can often be found getting shoved into a locker by boys much larger than he is.
That boy looks familiar to me. I'm sure I've seen him somewhere.
You're probably just thinking of the garden gnome on our neighbor's lawn.
And this is my youngest, Violetta. At just 8 years old, she's already started her own business. Do you want to tell everyone what you do for your job, Violetta?
I bury pets.
That's right. There are lemonade stands or Girl Scout cookies in this household. Instead, Violetta is upholding the proud Mortadelli tradition of quality berries. And can you tell them how much you charge?
You don't pay with money.
She appreciates a good deal, just like her old man.
This used to be a Pomeranian.
But now it's a satisfied customer.
I saw that girl stand out on the sidewalk the other day. I just assumed she was starting a doomsday cult.
So be sure to come visit us at the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home for all your mortuary needs. It's the only funeral home in Shillyville that exemplifies the Mortadelli principles of compassion, customer service, and strong family values. Hope to see you soon.
Well, that was a nice commercial, but I still like yours better. More pizzazz.
Thanks, Gladys. I couldn't have done it without you. Well, the Mortadellis are finally trying to defend their legacy. That'll make things more interesting when we run them into the ground.
That was great. See, I knew we'd be naturals on the big screen.
Speak for yourself. I told you I looked terrible on camera, Dad. That was so embarrassing. If any of my classmates see this, the ridicule will only get worse. If that's even possible. Today, in Gov, Doug Sweetek's brother said I was drop dead gorgeous. And I know what you're gonna say, Mom, that it was a compliment, but it wasn't, okay? He knew what he was doing, I could tell. It was just the way he said it.
How did he say it?
Like, with this dreamy sincerity in his voice and a sense of genuine admiration in his gaze.
I think you should be grateful that you're getting made fun of because you live in a funeral home. After all, blessed are the persecuted.
What's that from? Are you quoting the Bible?
No, that's something Dad says all the time.
Keep the TV on. I think Johnny Cobweb's commercial is airing next.
I hope it does. There's no way he can follow that.
This just in. For the first time in Shillyville's 150-year history, there has been a murder. Police are currently in the process of conducting forensic analysis, but the only information that has been made public was the fact that there was a nutcracker found at the scene of the crime. It is unclear whether this was left intentionally by the killer as some sort of calling card. The story is still developing. More on this at 10.
What is happening to this town?
Johnny Cobweb here for Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor.
Since the first murder 6 months ago, there have been 4 more killings, all with a similar modus operandi. In each case, a Christmas nutcracker was intentionally placed at the scene of the crime. SVPD continues to encourage citizens to come forth with any leads. Their current theory is that the perpetrator is some sort of ballet enthusiast. What's that? Breaking news! There has just been another murder. The details are still scarce, but the victim has been identified as 32-year-old Joseph Smith. No relation to the founder of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Police have confirmed that there was yet another nutcracker left as a signature. Smith's tragic death marks the 6th casualty in this unprecedented killing spree. I'm being told that if the nutcracker killer commits just 2 more homicides, they will be able to trade in their scratch-off card for a free frozen yogurt. Let's pray it doesn't come to that. In a presumably unrelated story, Shillyville has also been rocked by the ongoing public feud between Mortadelli Family Funeral Home and Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor. Official advertising materials from the 2 businesses have become increasingly antagonistic in recent weeks, leaving many locals feeling as though they've been forced to pick a side. Political affiliation, religious denomination, and astrological orientation have all been superseded by one dividing question. Are you crazy for Cobweb, Or have you been struck by Mortadelli mania? Me personally, I just broke it off with my fiance because he answered incorrectly. We'll have more of these stories when we return after the break, but first, here's 2 straight hours of commercials.
Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor is as out of place in Shillyville as a tomato in a fruit salad. He doesn't understand our customs, our traditions, our way of life.
Mortadelli Family Funeral Home is a benign tumor that's been blighting the good people of Shillyville for nearly a century. Their ancestors are looking down in shame as the quality of their beloved funerals declines more and more with each generation of descendants.
But here at the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home, we guarantee that personal family touch.
But here at Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor, we guarantee the latest in death care technology.
That's why we're excited to introduce the Napoli Special. For an additional $29.99, we'll give your cadaver a full makeover. Our newly hired staff of professionally trained cosmetologists can make you look 10 years younger, which will only make your death that much more tragic. See, dead bodies have the nasty tendency to look somewhat lifeless, so a little bit of color on the face does wonders. Have you ever wondered what Grandpa Melvin would look like with a volumizing perm? Get him the Napoli Special and find out. The deathbed is a great place to spend a little extra cash. After all, you can't take it with you.
That's why I'm proud to announce the deluxe cremation package. Typical cremations take about 3 hours, but what about those times when you're yearning for an earning and you just can't wait? You're in luck, because a Johnny Cobweb cremation only lasts 5 to 7 minutes. You heard that right, folks. Only 5 to 7 minutes! You can drop off Great Uncle Ned, go through the Arby's drive-thru, and come back in time for him to be sucked up with a dustpan. Now, the inquisitive viewers at home are probably wondering, how do you cremate the body so quickly? Well, if I told you that, I'd have to kill you. I'm kidding. That's just a little joke we like to throw around the office sometimes.
You want your loved ones to be doing the shuffle as you shuffle off this mortal coil? Be sure to ask about our selection of traditional in memoriam music performed by one sad out-of-tune violinist who only knows how to play Christina Aguilera songs.
Our urns come in a variety of styles and flavors from around the world, such as rustic oak, polished chrome, biodegradable bamboo, candy cane, fun-sized, and many, many more. Each urn is equipped with a built-in fan for easy ash scattering on the go. And just a tip between friends, they can't kick you out of Disney World if they don't catch you doing it.
I'll serve bottomless margaritas at your will read.
I'll spray your mortars with tear gas.
I'll give your corpse a hot stone massage.
I'll strap a parachute to your carcass and airdrop you into the coffin.
So be sure to come visit us at the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home for the best service this side of the eschaton.
So come on down to Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor and adjoining crematorium, where we expedite your expiration and exceed your expectations.
I don't care if it kills you, you get me that formaldehyde shipment by 5 o'clock tomorrow, or I'm taking my business elsewhere, capiche? Widows!
Here's a helpful visual. Just imagine that this statuesque golden statue represents me, and this overstuffed cannoli represents Mr. Vincenzo Mortadelli.
Morning, girls, up and at it. You ready for school? Oh, don't forget your lunches. And Viola, we're taking you to the minivan and setting up your stand by Main Street after school, right? Good. You know, I think you're going to need a bigger tip jar, sweetie, because once people see your adorable little face out there, they'll be microwaving their guinea pigs for an excuse to visit.
I only need a few more.
Oh, did you come up with a slogan yet? Remember, it's got to be snappy.
Give me your dead pet. I will put it in a box and put the box in a hole and cover the hole with dirt, and it will know happiness like it has never known before.
That was perfect, Violetta. I really don't know how you come up with this stuff. My God. You know what? Here. I'm going to give you a note for your teacher, okay? You're going to take the next week off of school and focus exclusively on your business, cheap burials, no questions asked. I really think this could be the next big thing.
What? How come she gets to skip class?
Because she's not failing Gov.
That's not my fault. You're the one who helps me study for the test.
All right, fine. Let's review again. Which branch of government is in charge of passing laws?
Legislative.
And which branch determines constitutionality?
Judicial.
And what are you gonna do if Tyler Smartjossi tries messing with you again?
Poke him in the eyeballs and kick him in the shins.
Atta girl, knock him dead.
Oh! Where's everybody heading off to?
Going to school. Where have you been?
Oh, I was just making some modifications to the hearse. It has 3 extra gears now, so I can get to school in half the time and easily outpace any police vehicle currently in use by the SVPD.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought I told you to lay off the door-to-door proselytizing. You're not getting in trouble with the cops again, are you?
No, don't worry, Dad. I've been staying far away from any possible face-to-face interaction. My friends are helping too. None of them are talking to me.
So not much has changed then, huh?
Still, it never hurts to be prepared. After all, that is the motto of the Mortadellis.
There's no such thing as the motto of the Mortadellis. What are you talking about now?
Morning, honey. You ready for another day of crime fighting?
Oh, sure, thanks. I just came down to make sure the girls were ready for school.
Yep, they just left.
Oh, okay. Did you pack them their lunches because they're very particular
Don't
about
worry,
the
I made their favorites. I made black forest ham and baby Swiss on wheat for Bianca and wet roadkill in a burlap sack for Viola.
What about Giacomo?
Oh, right, forgot. Here's 45 cents. Get yourself something nice at the cafeteria.
Actually, I think it's a much wiser financial decision to invest it in municipal bonds. Ravenous hunger is temporary, but a diversified portfolio can last you a lifetime.
Fine, starve then. Just don't say I never did anything for you.
How did the zoning board meeting go? That was yesterday, right?
Yeah, it went great. The cemetery expansion got approved. We won't have to outsource to St. Drogo's anymore. That's going to be part of our next big marketing push.
I gotta be in one of the commercials too. The director said I was a natural on camera.
She said he seemed like someone desperate for attention.
I've been meaning to talk to you about those commercials, actually. I saw one the other day that said, "When you get deceased, our prices decrease."
Ooh, that's my favorite tagline. Took me hours in front of a rhyming dictionary to come up with that.
I'm glad that you're excited about it, but I just wonder if all of this in-your-face advertising is tasteful, given the climate.
Mom, no one ever became a successful industrialist by caring about the climate.
There's a homicidal maniac running around. The public is anxious enough as it is. These ads you're putting out might start a mass panic. I know you want to snag the Nutcracker victims, but is this all worth it just for a few more customers?
It's not just a few more customers, though. It seems like everyone in Shillyville has started thinking about their own mortality. I mean, we've had more people pay in advance these past few months than we have in the past few decades. I thought you'd be happy about all this, Susan. Haven't you always wanted me to take more control over the funeral home?
Well, sure, but this is still a bit much, right? It just feels like we're taking advantage of tragedy.
Why shouldn't we? It's working out great for us.
Giacomo!
Mortadelli Family Funeral Home is beating Johnny Cobweb for the first time since he moved here. If we can keep up this same pace throughout the next few homicides, we can run him out of this town for good.
There was another murder this morning. Betsy Anchorage just announced it.
Perfect. If we act fast, we can get to their next of kin before Johnny does.
See, this is my point. Your first reaction to this information should not be unabashed delight.
Listen, all I'm saying is I've always supported your career goals, and it just doesn't seem like I'm getting a whole lot of reciprocation right now.
That's because your career goal is to put a bunch of murder victims in a cemetery, and my career goal is to make the world a better place. Speaking of which, I'm late. Now I'm off to wrongfully convict some teenagers on trumped up charges, and I hope you two develop a conscience by the time I get back. I don't think she's open yet. You might want to come back later.
Oh, no, that's all right. I was just, window shopping.
I don't know, Jock. Maybe she's right. I mean, all this heavy-duty marketing is new for us. What if it backfires?
It's just ahead of its time, that's all. You know what they say. In a world full of fools, it is the genius who is called the madman.
Who's they?
You.
Right. Go make yourself useful.
On it, Dad.
Officer Brandywine, SVPD.
Oh, no. Dad, they finally found me.
What?
No, I don't think you understand. I'm looking for a Mr. Vincenzo Mortadelli.
Oh, my apologies, officer. Dad, they finally found you.
What are you talking about? What's going? Oh, hello, officer.
Are you Vincenzo Mortadelli?
Yeah, that's me. Is there a problem?
No, I just have a few questions for you. Really nothing to be concerned about. We just have to follow every lead we get, no matter how small.
All right, sure. Whatever you need. Why don't you head off to school now, Jock?
Sure thing, Dad. And remember, if my name comes up in conversation, you don't know me.
Kids, huh? Can't live with them, can't live without them, right?
I would have known. I haven't seen mine since the Berlin Wall fell.
I'm sorry. Were they, like, involved with that?
No, completely unrelated. Just a coincidence. Are you familiar with the name Tabby Tuppence?
Tabby. That was one of the Nutcracker victims, right? I forget. Was that 2 or 3 murders ago?
5, I believe. And did you know Miss Tuppence at all before she died?
No, I never met her. I only knew her name because I heard it on the news, you know.
Right. This next question always sounds accusatory, but again, just a formality. Do you remember what you were doing on the night of October 24th?
Yeah. I was burying a dead body. Yep.
Excuse me?
Oh, I mean, I was, taking care of a corpse.
Was it the corpse of Tabby Tuppence?
Oh, no, probably not.
Probably.
I don't really remember, you know, it was a while ago. I bury a lot of corpses. They all sort of blend together after a while.
Right. So your alibi for not committing the murder of Tabby Tuppence is that you were too busy burying a dead body that may or may not be hers.
Yep, that'd be correct.
Okay. I'm going to arrest you now.
I do the same thing.
Gladys, I do believe that I am in my element. Vincenzo Mortadelli is finally shaping up to be a worthy opponent. Me and him, we're two titans of industry clashing on the battlefield of the free market. We're like Rommel and Eisenhower, or Carnegie and Rockefeller,
Or Tom and Jerry.
or Lincoln and Douglas,
Or Batman and that other guy.
or Rosencrantz and Guildenstern,
Or me and my paroled officer.
or Ahab and I.
Or Betty and Veronica.
Yes, exactly. And I think that I finally figured out a way to pull ahead of the Mortadellis again. With the Nutcracker Killer still on the loose, now is the time to establish ourselves as the premier destination for recently murdered individuals. Homicides have always been big influencers. Look at Franz Ferdinand, right? If we can some high-profile victims as clients, I bet that the rest of Shillyville's faithful departed will want to follow the trend.
Like a celebrity endorsement.
Yes, exactly, just like a celebrity endorsement. What do you think?
I think that is a wonderful strategy, Jonathan. And I have the perfect slogan for it, too. Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor, recommended by 9 out of 10 martyrs.
Hey, that's not bad, Gladys. Boy, why's the company named after me? You're the real brains of the operation.
Oh, you stop your teasing, young man. Maybe it's just your genius rubbing off on me.
Oh, I'm serious. You're becoming a real Dave Ogilvy. That reminds me, actually. The new Mortadelli commercial should be airing soon. Be a dear and turn on the TV.
I already wrote it on the calendar, but don't forget. I'll be coming in late tomorrow. I have another appointment with the chiropractor.
Gladys, not again.
So come on down to the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home where our customer service is so good, it'll bring you back to life.
No, Giacomo, we can't say that.
Wait! I know why that boy looks familiar to me. He's the little delinquent who tried extorting me a few months ago.
Talk about Mortadelli. What happened? Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, I didn't want to trouble you with it, Jonathan. You had so much on your mind already, but one day he knocked on our door and said that if I didn't purchase a funeral in advance, there was no telling what might happen to me.
It's awful. How did you get him to leave?
Well, at first I went to reach for my pistol, but I know you don't like it when I shoot inside the apartment. So I called the police instead.
I just hope that you weren't hurt. A word on the street is that kid is a regular mafioso.
Brandywine, SVPD.
Oh, officer, thank goodness you're here. There is a hoodlum boy still on the loose. He's probably terrorizing another innocent lady as we speak.
No, that's not. I'm just looking to speak to a Mr. Johnny Cobweb.
Oh. Jonathan, there's a man in uniform here to see you. Don't forget about that boy, officer. If you ask me, he's more dangerous than that nutcracker character they keep mentioning on the news.
Are you Johnny Cobweb?
In the flesh, officer. How are you this lovely afternoon?
I'm fine. Just been a bit of a weird day. Was that your landlady?
Oh, Gladys? No, she's my roommate.
All right, well, what you do in your private life is your own personal business.
Isn't it just the sweetest thing? Sweeter than rhubarb pie. That's what I tell everyone.
Listen, this is just a formality. Can you please confirm that you weren't doing anything dubious on the night of October 24th? Including, but not limited to, burying corpses or murdering Tabby Tuppence.
Oh, you think that I'm the killer? No. It couldn't have been me. You see, I was busy scattering the remains of a recently deceased woman at the time.
Am I the only person in this town who hasn't gone insane? What is going on? You realize how your answer is still very suspicious.
How is it suspicious? It's what I do for a living.
What exactly do you do for a living?
I dispose of dead bodies in a timely and efficient manner. Is that a service you'd be interested in? I could get you a business card.
No, I don't want your business card. Look, I have to arrest you now.
Well, not quite sure why, officer, but don't worry, I'll come quietly. I'm sure this whole misunderstanding will all be cleared up soon. Gladys, put the gun down! We talked about this! So, you come here often?
Please stop talking to me. We've reviewed the facts of the case, and it appears there's no hard evidence suggesting that either of you are the Nutcracker killer.
Thanks, officer. We had no doubt that justice would be carried out in the end.
Unfortunately, we don't have any other leads, so you two are still the most likely suspects.
What? That's not fair. You just said there was no hard evidence.
Sure, but you're the only people in town who had any incentive to kill.
I don't understand. What's the incentive to kill?
You make a living by disposing of dead bodies in a timely and efficient manner.
Well, running a funeral home is a completely honest line of work. Just because Mr. Mortadelli and I happen to work with dead people doesn't mean we want to create them. I suppose if we were military contractors, you'd blame us every time this country got itself into another war.
But haven't your businesses profited off of the murders?
Yes, but merely in the financial sense.
Right. Making money off of someone's death is typically seen as a pretty strong motive.
And you're sure the victims didn't have any enemies?
No, none. 5 of them are tax collectors, and the 6th was a used car salesman.
Officer, I think you're forgetting about a few constitutional amendments.
Yeah, I'm intimately familiar with the high school level social studies curriculum, and I know for a fact that this is a violation of my rights.
Listen, I don't think you understand the situation I'm in. Before this nutcracker nut job came along, Shillyville's crime rate was the lowest in the entire Midwest. No one on the police force has any idea how to handle a serial killer. The only criminals we've ever had to deal with are a couple of errant loiterers and some little girl who tried starting a doomsday cult. My boss, chief of police Darren Pancakes, he's completely unqualified for the position. You know how he became chief of police? He won the job in a raffle held at a Knights of Columbus fish fry.
You don't mean Darren Pancakes the singer?
No relation. Just a
Had me excited there for a second.
Wait, so what's your point here? Shillyville's criminal justice system is so incompetent that you're gonna pin the blame on an innocent man to make it seem like you're taking some sort of action?
Hey, it's better than sitting around doing nothing.
No, it's not! It's not better for me!
I never said you were innocent, you know. I just said we don't have any evidence that you're guilty, and that's never been that much of an issue before. Who knows? Maybe some new information will come to light tomorrow.
What's going on tomorrow?
Your joint trial.
Oh, why are we having a joint trial? Our cases don't have anything to do with each other, do they?
No, but the courthouse gets rented out for quinceañeras 6 days a week, so tomorrow's our only option. We're just gonna try you both at the same time and be done with it.
Is that allowed?
I don't know, man. I just do what Darren Pancakes tells me. Anyways, your lawyer should be here in a few minutes to go over the details of the case. See you in the morning, fellas. Bright and early.
Well, Mr. Mortadelli, here we are, arm in arm with our backs against the wall, holding spears of truth against the fast encroaching arm of the oft-abused law.
What do you mean arm in arm? What are you talking about?
They're holding a joint trial. That makes us co-defendants. We'll be working together to clear our names.
I'm not working with you. You're the whole reason I'm in this mess. If you hadn't walked into our territory and forced me to get into this whole advertising arms race, I wouldn't be sitting in an interrogation chamber right now.
But the arms race has been a huge success for you. Your business is doing better than ever. If you think about it, getting accused of murder is really just a testament to your newfound productivity. Not just anyone can become a serial killer, you know. It takes someone who's intelligent and self-motivated. It takes initiative, and if there's something you've had a lot of lately, it's been initiative.
That's because I was trying to be you, man. I was trying to be suave and loquacious and young, and look where it's gotten me. Locked in a room with my least favorite person in the world. And you're right, you know? No one would ever have suspected Vincenzo Mortadelli, the sad sack who makes his kids do all his work for him. But now I'm Vincenzo Mortadelli, the kingpin with the clever catchphrases in his commercials, and who remembers his wife's birthday, and who doesn't feel totally ashamed of the way his body looks on camera. Of course I seem like a psychopath. I actually have my life together now. Self-improvement was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Mr. Mortadelli, I don't think your catchphrases are very clever at all.
Susan, what are you doing here?
I'm here to discuss your case. I'll be defending you in the trial tomorrow.
But you're not a defense attorney.
I'm still a lawyer. Did you really think I would let you walk into that courtroom without proper representation?
Susan, you don't know how good it is to see you.
You saw me this morning.
No, I know, but it's just been a weird few months, and I haven't really felt like myself lately, and we both just been so busy, so I wasn't sure what you'd think, and then today it was just so awful, and so to see a familiar face here, it's just really good to see you.
Vincenzo, you're my husband. I will always be the first one to leap to your defense, and that won't change no matter how many murders you get accused of.
How'd I ever get so lucky?
Of course, I'll also be leading the prosecution against you. I'm going to be defending you and prosecuting you simultaneously.
What?
All the other prosecutors in the office are busy on another case. I'm the only one who's available.
What other case? What could be bigger than a mass murder trial?
Apparently, there's some arcade company that owns all the pinball machine distribution and they're getting sued under federal antitrust laws.
Finally! Some good news.
You're still here?
Actually, Mrs. Mortadelli, seeing as you're the only lawyer in town and your husband and I are technically co-defendants, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind...
Yes, Johnny, I can defend you.
Susan!
What?
You can't defend him. There's a very real chance he could be guilty.
Well, that doesn't matter. Everyone has the constitutional right to legal counsel.
She's right. There's an amendment about that.
You're not even a defense attorney.
I'm defending you.
You're defending me because you know I'm innocent.
Well,
Well, what do you mean, well?
Well, if we're being strictly objective about it, I don't know that you're innocent.
I am your husband.
I know, but you have a pretty shaky alibi. What were you doing the night of Tabby Tuppett's murder?
You know what I was doing. I was burying a dead body.
I hate to say it, Mr. Mortadelli, but that does sound pretty suspect.
You were doing the same thing.
As your defense attorney, I will trust you unconditionally, and I will fight tooth and nail to prove your innocence so that you can leave that courtroom a free man. But as your prosecution, I feel it's my obligation to tell you, I know what you did. I prove that you did it, and I hope you rot in a cell for the rest of your miserable criminal life.
Well, Mr. Mortadelli, here we are, arm in arm against the world. I think this is going to be a pretty interesting trial.
She was the one who, she started making fun of, the, whole thing. She, has, old bars and
She made fun of Jonas. She's so funny. That's really better. Yeah.
Ever since the news came out that you're the Nutcracker Killer?
I'm not the Nutcracker Killer. I've been falsely accused. Keep your voice down.
Okay. Ever since the news came out that you're probably the Nutcracker Killer, I'm like the most popular girl in school. None of the other kids even sit next to me at lunch anymore because they're too intimidated by me. I think they think that I'm too cool for them. You should commit crimes more often, Dad. It's doing wonders for my social life.
I agree with Bianca. Being implicated in the brutal massacre of innocent civilians might seem like a setback at first, but that's really just a mental barrier. I think I saw Betsy Anchorage on her way in. If she covers your case, then the name recognition from your criminal charges could actually end up increasing revenue. And when you do get convicted, we can option the rights to your memoir.
How are we going to win this trial? My own children want me to lose.
Sorry I'm late. I crashed into a pizza delivery guy on the way here. How's the defense coming along?
It's hard to say because this whole case has already been so unorthodox. Hopefully the judge will be able to clear it all up.
All rise for the Right Honorable Judge, Elmo, ex emeritus.
Hey! See ya, good to see ya. Oh, Brandy, you give me some. All right.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Elmo. I'm gonna be your judge this morning. Go ahead, get seated, get comfortable. All right, now I've been told that this is a murder trial, which is pretty crazy. You know, I've actually never done a murder trial before, so I'm kind of nervous, but we'll get through it together. I think it'll be a great learning experience for all of us, right? All right, well, if everyone's ready, we can go ahead and get started. Court is now in session, and I think this is going to be a pretty quick trial, because I'm looking around the courtroom, and I think I'm 90% sure I already know who did it. I sentenced the creepy young girl in the pigtails to solitary confinement and a visit from an exorcist.
You cannot sentence her. She's not even on trial. No one's indicted her of anything.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me she's not a suspected murderer?
No. Violetta is completely innocent.
You've heard it said that Lady Justice is blind. I know this, for it was I who blinded her.
Okay, well, then who is the defendant?
Actually, Your Honor, I
How
wanted
about
to mention it
please,
because-
please. Your Honor was my father's name.
Your father was a judge too?
Oh no, he was just really pretentious.
Well, I wanted to bring it to your attention that I was asked to serve as both lead defense attorney and lead prosecutor for this case.
Oh, that is strange. Huh. Well, variety's the spice of life.
Are we going to continue like this? I don't think there's any sort of legal precedent for this sort of arrangement.
Probably not, but I've never really been one of those people who's a big stickler for the rules.
Okay. One more question. Where is the jury?
Oh, right. Forgot to mention that. 11 of our jurors called out sick. Apparently, there's a bad case of the Canadian measles going around.
What are the Canadian measles?
They're like normal measles, except they make you speak a little bit of French.
You said 11 jurors called out sick. Where is the 12th?
Oh, sorry.
sorry I'm late. Traffic was dreadful. Someone crashed into a pizza delivery boy, and Main Street is flooded with marinara sauce.
Gladys, what are you doing here?
Oh, hello, Jonathan. This is a pleasant surprise. I didn't know your trial was today.
You know Gladys too? She's my favorite juror.
It's really just a hobby. You know how sometimes I'll go out to the chiropractor and be gone anywhere between 2 to 8 hours? Well, I'm not actually going to the chiropractor. I'm volunteering for jury duty. Guess my big secret's out.
Isn't she just the sweetest thing?
Sweeter than shepherd's pie, that's what I tell everyone.
Oh, you boys are too much. Jonathan, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but I'll be rooting for you. If you say anything incriminating, I'll strike it from the record.
There is clearly a conflict of interest here. She's his employee.
And his roommate.
She's his employee and his roommate. That's kind of weird.
Look, I hate to be a jerk about this, but are you gonna complain about everything? Like, we can't be here all day. I got a birthday party to get to tonight.
Whose birthday party? I know you don't have any friends outside of work.
It's my birthday party. It's gonna get pretty wild, too. Got a VHS copy of Cool Runnings and some small batch root beer chilling in the fridge. Going all out for the big 22.
You don't look a day over 12.
Stop it, I'm blushing.
The defense calls Johnny Cobweb to the stand.
Oh, right, there's still a trial going on. My bad.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Was there ever a doubt?
Please state your name and occupation for the court.
I'm Johnny Cobweb, and I'm the proud owner of Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor, where there's no such thing as a bad way to go.
Mr. Cobweb, have you ever murdered someone?
No.
The defense rests, Giacomo.
What was that? She asked him one question. How is that supposed to convince the judge we're innocent?
Dad, Mom isn't a defense attorney. She's obviously not going to be that good at it without any practice.
Would the prosecution like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, she would.
Oh, we are not going to win this case.
Mr. Cobweb, would you describe yourself as a ruthless man?
Well, I've been called a ruthless businessman, but that's only in reference to my professional life. On a personal level, anyone who knows me knows that I'm really quite docile.
And would you say that your professional and personal lives ever mix?
No, not at all. I believe in strict compartmentalization. I never bring work home with me.
We've just been told that your desk receptionist is also your roommate. I think it's pretty clear that you bring work home with you. Judge Elmo, Mr. Cobweb is a demonstrably unreliable witness. I move to completely disregard his testimony up to this point, including the claim that he's never murdered anyone.
Hold on. Let me be frank.
I thought your name was Johnny.
I suspect that this judge isn't very bright.
I just meant that I value my free time, that's all.
I see. Then let's change the subject. Mr. Cobweb, you're well known in Shillyville for your exceedingly creative commercials.
Well, thank you. I write them all myself.
Do you now? I find that concerning, considering the fact that these commercials are often characterized by veiled threats, rampant demagoguery, and the odd bigoted comments against Italians.
Maybe I do take some artistic license with my scripts, but I don't know what you mean by veiled threats.
Do you recall a recent commercial promoting something called the Deluxe Cremation Package?
Of course. That's where I first revealed our revolutionary new cremation technique that only lasts 5 to 7 minutes. You heard that right, folks. Only 5 to 7 minutes.
Wow. Yes. It sounds very impressive, but I'm curious. How do you cremate the body so quickly?
Well, if I don't do that, I'd have to kill you.
Judge Elmo, Mr. Cobweb is a verbally abusive bully, and I'd imagine that his mere presence in this room is a distraction to the more easily intimidated among us, especially considering there are 3 young Italian-American children in the gathering. The prosecution requests that he be removed from this courthouse entirely until the completion of this trial.
No. I was just kidding. That's just a little joke I like to throw around the office sometimes. Isn't that right, Gladys? Isn't that just a little joke I like to throw around the office sometimes?
Yes, Dearie, Jonathan and I say all sorts of unsavory things behind closed doors. It's locker room talk. He doesn't mean anything by it. Don't we all need an outlet one way or another?
So you're truly not concerned that your roommate is exhibiting all the signs of a mass murderer?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. C'est la vie.
Watch out, guys. I think she might have the Canadian measles.
Let's find a line of questioning, then. Mr. Cobweb, do you remember when the Nutcracker killings began?
That would have been about 6 months ago now.
And do you mind telling the court when you moved to Shillyville for the first time?
It would have been about 6 months ago.
I find it interesting, Mr. Cobweb, that Shillyville experienced its first ever killing spree as soon as you came to town. Seems awfully convenient, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know about convenient. No, certainly not convenient for the victims.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. It's the sort of thing that couldn't possibly be a coincidence. The prosecution submits Exhibit A into evidence. This chart shows Shillyville's homicide. And this point here is when Mr. Cobweb began his funeral parlor. No further questions, Judge Elmo. I think this visual makes everything pretty clear.
You brought evidence? I thought that was just something that happened in movies.
You sure know how to pick 'em, Mr. Mortadelli.
What happened, man? You got torn to shreds out there.
Of course he did, Dad. Mom is the best prosecutor in the state.
She's never lost a case.
One time she got a guy sentenced to the electric chair in divorce court.
She has her own exhibit at the Trial Lawyer Hall of Fame.
How did you not know this?
She's single-handedly responsible for the crime rate in Shillyville being so
A
low.
lot of local convenience stores don't even have security cameras. They just put up a framed portrait of Mom and all the shoplifters get too scared to steal anything.
At the Mafia info session, they told me never to make eye contact with her under any circumstances. And I haven't since.
Even the termites in these walls fear the heartbeat of the courtroom.
I can't believe you actually agreed to let her prosecute you.
She said she was defending me, too. I thought it would cancel out.
You really have no idea, do you?
The defense calls Vincenzo Mortadelli to the stand.
Well, off I go to the gallows. Wish me luck, kids.
Good luck, Dad.
Please try not to humiliate this family any further.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, in sickness and in health, till death do you part?
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Please state your name and occupation for the court.
Vincenzo Mortadelli, full-time funeral director, part-time father.
Mr. Mortadelli, have you ever killed someone?
No, and I've never thought about killing someone, and I've never made jokes about killing someone, and I'd be more than happy to elaborate on anything pertaining to my absolute innocence.
That won't be necessary. Your witness? Thank you, counsel. Mr. Mortadelli, are you aware of your notorious reputation as an apathetic hippo?
Okay. There was a time when I was a bit of a slacker, but that was a while ago, you know. I've been a lot more involved lately.
And around when would you say you began to take on more of a leadership role?
It was when Johnny moved here about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. The prosecution submits Exhibit B in evidence! This chart shows that all the Nutcracker killings occurred after the witness actually started putting effort into his career. You say you've been more involved lately, Mr. Mortadelli. Why don't you tell the court what you really mean? That you were more involved in the deaths of your customers!
No, you've got it all backwards. I would never kill people to get customers. Having customers was one of the reasons I became more motivated. And there was other things too, like I wanted to be Johnny, and I wanted to make my wife happy, and I wanted to...
Hold on! You mean to tell this court that your wife is the reason that those helpless victims were slaughtered like cattle in their own home?
What? No, that's not what I said at all.
No further questions, Judge Elmo. I think there's only one way to get to the bottom of this. The prosecution calls Susan Mortadelli to the
Wait! You're the Susan Mortadelli? Oh my god, that's crazy, man. You look so different in person. I mean, I used to have a poster of you up in my dorm at law school.
Where did you go to law school?
Pyongyang.
You know the drill. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, the good, the bad, and the ugly truth, the unfiltered, unvarnished, unexpected, unverified, unauthorized, uncircumcised, undulating, scintillating, devastating, aggravating, dirty, grimy, smelly, stinky truth?
So help me God. Would you mind telling us your relationship with the defendant? I'm Vincenzo's wife, Mrs. Mortadelli. Your husband just claimed under oath that the Nutcracker Killer inspired him to become a better businessman. He also said it was you who always wanted him to take more control over the funeral home. What is the relevance of this? What are you insinuating about the witness? Insinuating! That's a big word for you, isn't it, Captain? I'm not quite sure you know how to use it. See, I'm not insinuating anything. I'm merely proposing a theory. You want to know what I think, counsel? I think that this witness married her high school sweetheart and found out early on he wasn't the industrious heir she thought he was. Instead, she was forced to act as both breadwinner and homemaker, all while he cruised through life and struggled to stay awake in his own office. But all of a sudden, after 20 years of marriage, she found a way to bring in more customers and motivate her husband at the same time. You're not seriously suggesting that's right! I think you're the Nutcracker Killer! I think you went on a killing spree to force your deadbeat husband to finally make something of his life. What? No! I don't know what you're talking about! I love Vincenzo! You expect this court to believe you married this man for his charm? He has the personality of a pair of pliers!
Objection sustained.
Overruled! I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just a witness. I don't know anything. Pull yourself together, you hysterical woman! Ellie, do something!
Yeah, come on, Brandy. What are we paying you for?
Don't touch me! You take one step closer, and I will eat that badge with a spork and knife!
Forget this, man. I don't even want to be here. And I still don't know what this show is about.
You can't just assault a witness on the stand! I am the heartbeat of the courtroom! I can do whatever I want!
Do all her trials go like this?
Yeah, pretty much.
The prosecution rests her case.
Well, as much as I appreciate a little bit of theatrical chicanery, we've made absolutely zero progress in deciding a verdict. Both of the defendants still seem equally guilty, and it's possible I imagined this, but I'm pretty sure at one point the prosecution accused herself of being the murderer. Plus, I'm still not ruling out the possibility that it's all the fault of the 6-foot-tall third grader. So, we somehow ended up with twice as many suspects as something isn't working. I think we're gonna have to move the goalposts a bit.
Oh, should we do guilty until proven innocent?
We did that last time. I got it! Bailiff!
What?
So you still think the motive is financial gain, right?
That's our theory, yeah.
Well, the most recent Nutcracker victim hasn't had a funeral yet, so they're still up for grabs. Whichever defendant would like to bury them more must be the guilty one, right? Because they have the stronger motive. We just need to figure out who that is. And that'll keep things fair, too. You know, one of the defendants misses out on a big sale, and the other defendant makes the sale, but they spend the rest of their life in a maximum security prison. What do you think, jury? That sound like a plan?
Oh, I'm going to find Jonathan innocent regardless.
All right, fair enough. What about you, prosecution/defense? That sound good?
No!
You're completely ignoring all the testimony we just heard. I spent 30 extra cents for color printing at the library to make those graphs, and you're just gonna make a mockery of due process on a whim?
I don't know. I never really understood the big obsession with due process. It just seems so oppressive to have to follow a strict code all the time, you know? I guess that's why they call it the burden of proof.
I'm beginning to suspect that this judge isn't very bright.
Could I have the defendants up here, please? All right. Which of you lucky gentlemen would like to bury... Oh, what was the last victim's name again?
Joseph Smith.
You don't mean Joseph Smith, the founder of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
No relation.
You had me excited there for a second. Which of you lucky gentlemen would like to bury Joseph Smith?
Well, Johnny, as much as we'd love to have another customer, I have to admit that you're the most qualified man for the job.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, Mr. Mortadelli, but I think that you're forgetting that your funeral home is the only one in Shillyville that exemplifies the Mortadelli principles of compassion, customer service, and strong family values.
I'm glad you've had such a change of heart, Johnny. I seem to recall that only a few days ago you were calling me a benign tumor.
Well, I meant it as a compliment, Mr. Mortadelli. A benign tumor as opposed to a malignant one.
Right over my head. See, what can you expect from someone who never graduated top of his class at the University of Mortuary Arts and Sciences, like you did?
Your praise is very flattering, Mr. Mortadelli, but it's quite misplaced. Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor is a completely amateur operation. I can hardly tell a corpse from a kazoo. No, I'm sure Mr. Smith's poor widow would much rather you take care of it.
Well, if I were Mr. Smith, I wouldn't want to be caught dead in a dump like the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home. We've broken most of the child labor laws on the books. And guess what? We're gonna break them again.
I've never had any passion for funerals. I'd just sooner have an ice cream parlor. My entire career choice was completely arbitrary. I just picked something that I could sell because marketing is all that I'm good at.
At least you're good at something. I took over a business from my parents because I don't have any other talents. I'm a complete and total fraud. There's no such thing as the Mortadelli principles. I made them all up, and I'm barely even Italian. I'm like 0.006% on my father's side because Mortadelli men keep marrying non-Italian women.
And I'm a liar too. Johnny Cobweb isn't even my real name.
I knew it.
My birth name is Slavomir Cobweb. I changed it to sound more American.
I thought your name was Frank.
I can't believe you made more money than me.
I have to keep things 3 feet deep because I get tired halfway through.
Sometimes I cremate 2 people at the same time, and I get their ashes mixed up.
My coffins are made of styrofoam.
My gift shop is a tax write-off.
I'm a hack.
I'm a crook.
I'm the laziest 2-bit con man to ever walk Mother Nature's sweet fingers. And you'd be stupid to trust me with directing your funeral ever again.
Stop it! Stop it! It was me! I did it! I'm the nutcracker
Good morning, Shillyville, and welcome back to this direct feed of the Nutcracker trial. I'm Betsy Anchorage, reporting live from outside the Tabby Tuppence Memorial Courthouse. And it seems like now is as good a time as any to cut to commercial. Considering the latest developments in this case, some viewers may find this next advertisement to be in poor taste, but unfortunately, they paid in advance, so there's nothing we can do about it.
As current owner of the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home, I'm proud to inherit a strong, unbroken line of Italian heritage. From my father's father's father to me, and now to my son Giacomo, who will one day continue the family legacy. Stick to the script.
Our funeral home has always been the beating heart of Shillyville. As one of the oldest locally owned and operated businesses in town, we truly bring a sense of security to this community, building up trust over multiple generations. Sometimes I like to imagine a future where I'm sitting behind that front desk, and when the people of Southwest Ohio see me, they won't be able to keep themselves from smiling, because they'll know that they're in good hands. So come and visit us over at the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home, where our customer service is so good,
It'll bring you back to life.
No, Giacomo, we can't say that.
So come and visit us over at the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home. We'll provide everything.
Except for the cause of death. And sometimes that too.
What?
We now return to the Nutcracker trial.
I've been harboring a fugitive! I knew I should have switched those baskets at birth!
Why'd you do it, Giacomo?
I was just trying to be a good son. Only when it was for Dad to be successful, for the Mortadelli Family Funeral Home to be successful. So when my door-to-door campaigning failed, he told me I wasn't allowed to promote it in any way that showcased my personality or overall vibe. So how else could I bring in new customers without my natural salesmanship and charisma? Other than killing 5 IRS agents.
I feel like there's definitely other options, right? It's not just me.
I couldn't let you just keep slandering the funeral home like that. You were tearing down the reputation we worked so hard to build up. So I had to come clean.
Wait, but why did you always leave a nutcracker at the scene of the crime?
Oh, actually, that's a really funny story. So during my first murder, a nutcracker accidentally slipped out of my pocket. So when I found out that the police were calling a calling card, I decided to create a consistent corporate identity and pretend to be a serial killer.
You are a serial killer!
Yes, merely in the colloquial sense. They were just casual casualties. I'm not classically trained or anything.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
But that still doesn't answer my question. Why were you carrying around a nutcracker in the first place?
I always carry a nutcracker with me. It's like you say, Dad. You never know when you're going to run into a particularly durable walnut.
I've never said that in my life. No one has. Those words have never been next to each other in the experience.
Hold on. Something's off. How many victims did you say the Nutcracker killer had?
6.
And how many people did you say you killed?
5.
Then that can only mean there's another murderer.
And a collective gasp fills the courtroom.
You're absolutely certain you only got 5.
Yes, of course. I remember because I bought a 5-pack of garrote wires to save money.
Sounds like a good deal.
The only victim that didn't die by garrote strangulation was someone named Gus Levy.
Oh, you don't mean Gus Levy, the used car salesman?
No. Yeah, the used car salesman. Why? Do you know him?
Oh, yes, dearie, do I ever. He sold me a used Chevrolet convertible for $3,500, and he told me it was a bargain. But a few weeks after I drove it off the lot, I realized it wasn't a Chevrolet convertible at all. It was actually a big laundry basket with 4 unicycles duct taped. But I had already signed all the paperwork, so I couldn't get my money back.
That's horrible. How could someone be so cruel as to swindle a poor, defenseless young woman?
You're right, Jonathan. It was horrible. That's why a few months ago I broke into Gus Levy's house and shot him 12 times in the chest.
Breaking news! The First Lady of the United States has just been assassinated. Unfortunately, the Nutcracker trial is running into overtime, so our coverage on that will have to wait. Stay tuned after another commercial.
At Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor, we make it a priority to foster a constructive work environment. Here to talk about her experience is 6-time Employee of the Month, Gladys Halibut.
I love working for Johnny Cobweb's Funeral Parlor because I know that my coworkers would never judge me for pursuing personal goals while I'm off the clock. Other jobs that I applied for always required a background check. But Jonathan doesn't need any of that. He believes in second chances. And hopefully third chances too. Fingers crossed.
What?
We once again return to the Nutcracker trial.
You're the second murderer?
Gladys, how could you? I told everyone that you were a doll. I told everyone that you were sweeter than chicken pot pie.
Well, I'm sorry, Jonathan, but at my age it can be hard to control your anger. Sometimes the white hot rage that constantly simmers under my carefully maintained facade of sanity boils over. And I wish wake up hours later with blood on my hands, a new tattoo, and no memory of the evening.
Why did you leave a nutcracker at the scene of the crime? Were you trying to frame the real nutcracker killer?
Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. It must have slipped out of my purse by accident. I always carry a nutcracker in my purse. It's just like you always say, Jonathan. You never know when you might run into an especially sturdy pistachio.
I do always say that. She's got me there.
You were carrying a purse while committing a murder?
Oh, well, where else am I supposed to keep my Glock?
Oh my God!
Sorry.
Well, I guess that solves the mystery of the Nutcracker Killer. Unless anyone else has any other bombshells they'd like to drop on the court.
I've had a crush on Tyler Smarjossi this whole time!
No! Really?
You stay on topic, man. I thought you had a birthday party to get to.
No. You're right, let's buckle down. Cool Runnings is not going to watch itself. This is usually the part in the show where the jury has to make a unanimous decision about the guilt of the accused. In this situation, however, our one juror has just confessed to the crime that the accused was accused of. But I don't think there's anything in the rule book that says it isn't still up to you. So, Gladys, what do you say? Are you guilty or not guilty?
Well, I don't feel very guilty about it.
All right, I guess we have our verdict.
Judge Elmo, you can't just let her walk free. She confessed to murder 2 minutes ago.
She wasn't under oath, though, so maybe she was lying.
Besides, I've always said that the spirit of the law is more important than the letter.
Right? That's why we get along so well.
Did you even pass the bar?
Of course. I passed the bar on the way over here. Stopped in and had a few beers.
Morty?
Well, this has all been very fun, but I have one more announcement to make before I go. We, the jury, unanimously find Giacomo Mortadelli guilty of quintuple homicide and recommend the maximum sentence. Goodbye, Jonathan. I'll see you back at the apartment.
All right, buddy. Looks like you're going away for a long, long time. Do your thing, Brandy.
Judge Elmo, there are still multiple factors we have yet to consider. I have my whole life ahead of me. Do you seriously want to clip the wings of a young professional on the cusp of entering the workforce?
Well, you did add a lot of entertainment value to the trial, which is usually my only criteria. I guess we could knock down your sentence to a couple hours of community service.
Oh, thank you, Judge Elmo. You have made the right decision today.
No, you haven't. Lock him up.
Letting you walk once again would be a slap in the face to the American judicial system.
Yeah, it's about time I get promoted from middle child.
This trial is but a farce, a feeble attempt at upholding the order which pathetic man has floundered without. But there is something older than any human law, Giacomo. And though you may escape justice, you will not escape vengeance. I have been to the end of time. I have seen what punishment awaits you at Armageddon's door, a torturous undeath beneath the river Styx. Can you imagine it, brother? I know that you cannot, but try in your creative impotence to picture your eventual fate. Bound in a rusted cage of your own sins, sand pouring out of your eyes, dust writhing under your skin, your mouth wide open in a never-ending scream of pain as your skull tries to rip itself apart. So pray for mercy, Giacomo, as it is all you can do. But know that in your final agony, your pleas fall on uncaring ears. For vengeance is no benevolent mistress, but the daughter of Rome, retribution eternal, the reincarnate Violetta Ultimina Mortadelli.
Actually, officer, take me away. I think I'd be safer in jail.
suspects are no longer suspects, and our jury exonerated itself. As for the little eldritch soliloquist, it's the opinion of this court that she be locked up on bread and water rations with no chance for parole. Unfortunately, though, that's out of my jurisdiction. I'm gonna go catch that speech that the First Lady was supposed to give tonight. Live, laugh, love. Case dismissed.
Well, overall, I'd say that was an unmitigated success.
No, it was not. Our son is going to prison for the rest of his life. Our Christmas cards are going to look so unbalanced.
That's okay. We can get a pet chihuahua or something to replace it.
I lost my perfect record as a prosecutor.
But you've started your perfect record as a defense attorney.
I know, I just feel so bad for the kids. I mean, think of how disturbing this must have been for Violetta. Bianca, I'm sorry. I know your classmates will probably give you a hard time about all of this.
Are you kidding? I'm the sister of Shillyville's biggest celebrity. The kids at school are going to be so jealous. I can't wait to hear all the nicknames they'll give me now. I'm going to be untouchable, Mom. I'm going to be so far out of Tyler Smarjossi's league that he'll get a nosebleed just from looking up at me.
Johnny, maybe you were right about fruitful competition. I mean, if it hadn't been for you and your crazy ideas about work ethic, this trial would never have happened and I wouldn't have been able to kick Giacomo out of the house without CPS showing up.
It was my pleasure, believe me. Us titans of industry have to stick together, you know.
What do you say? Ready to go back to being good old-fashioned professional rivals?
There's no one I'd rather spread defamatory rumors about.
Speaking of defamatory, don't get too excited about going back to the funeral home. The whole town just saw you call yourself a 2-bit comment on the Betsy Anchorage Hour.
Wait, that was all televised?
Welcome back to the Betsy Anchorage Hour, broadcast live from the new Joseph Smith Memorial Television. My coverage of last week's infamous Cobweb v. Mortadelli, v. Ohio v. Mortadelli, v. Mortadelli, v. Halibut v. Mortadelli trial received the highest rating in local news history. And the network has decided that the Betsy Anchorage Hour will now air 23 hours a day. Here to talk about the aftermath of the case, I'm joined by the co-defendants. Hello, gentlemen.
Good to be here.
My son's a huge fan.
I think it's fair to say that you two have had an eventful year. You've gone from being respected members of the community to suspects in a mass murder case. And now, despite your acquittal, both of your funeral homes have gone out of business. How did that happen?
Well, customers don't tend to like it when you admit to using child labor on live television.
Plus, we're both close associates to known murderers. Not the best PR move.
Can you share a little more about that? What lessons have you learned from your time in living with celebrity criminals?
I've learned that it's okay for parents to pick favorites since some kids are just natural-born killers.
And I've learned that you should never hire someone who submits a list of outstanding warrants as a resume, no matter how many kinds of pies she's sweeter than.
Oh yes, how is the Mary murderer?
You mean Gladys? Unfortunately, she died earlier today. It turns out she actually did have the Canadian measles, and at her age, that's basically a death sentence.
Don't worry, though. Her family has enlisted the services of the new biggest funeral home in Shillyville. Cheap burials, no questions asked.
Is that the same company that bought out both of your businesses when you declared bankruptcy?
It sure is, but don't think you've seen the last of Mr. Mortadelli and I just because we're out of the funeral game.
I'm pleased to announce that after bonding over our shared trauma from the trial, Johnny and I have decided to start our own joint venture together, too.
So come on down to Johnny and Vinny's Pinball Parlor. The only pinball machine distributor in the entire Midwest that fuses cobweb-style innovation with Mortadelli's blood relations.
You can read all about it in our upcoming memoir, From Shovels and Spades to Bars and Arcades.
Well, folks, there you have it. After a tumultuous few months, it seems that Shillyville is finally returning to normalcy. 6 innocent people are still dead, but for these two at least, I guess you could call it a happy ending. This has been the Betsy Anchorage Hour.
Remind the viewers at home of your name one last time.
I'm Johnny Cobweb.
I'm Vincenzo Mortadelli.
And I'm Betsy Anchorage, signing off. Good night, Shillyville. And good night, Chicago!